Isa sa mga device na hindi naglabas dito sa Pilipinas and probably globally is this one, si Honor 500. And this phone has some quite good, interesting na premium specs na hindi aabot ng premium price dahil stop production na rin siya. So there's no reason kung bakit dapat tumaas pa kanyang presyo for this year. Now, would this phone even match yung capability na isang Honor 600 or at the very least close sa kanyang performance? Alamin natin after this quick intro. Now, alam naman natin, sobrang nagtaasan ng mga presyo ng mga smartphone ngayon, lalo mga brand new, na flagship, mid-range, budget phone, lahat nagtaasan. So, itong Honor 500, nabili ko to ng second hand and it is really, really fresh pa nung nabili ko ito. Kita mo yung kanyang box, may 500 nakasulat dito and the Honor 500 is here. Well, Honor 500 din nakasulat sa gilid. And I'm really excited na pakita sa inyo yung capability na itong phone na ito dahil itong phone is definitely very, very capable. So outright, nandito yung phone. So we have the small box. Andito outright yung kanyang SIM ejector pin. Of course, yung kanyang jelly case is also here. Transparent. Uy, mukhang bago pa siya, oh. Halos hindi gamit. And meron siyang pa-voucher which is magagamit mo lang in China. Plus, andito rin ang kanyang quick start guide. Galing, no? 2-in-1. And further inside the box, we have your charging cable. And meron ka pang 80 watts na Honor supercharged na charging brick. So that's everything inside the box. So ilabas na natin yung phone. We have here is the color black variant. And there's a few more other colors. Pakita ko lang sa inyo. Now, one thing na mapapansin mo that's a little bit different between this one and si Honor 500 Pro is that nakaumbok yung kanyang last ring dito sa 500 Pro. Pero flat dito sa 500. Now, itong Honor 500 5G, nabili ko to kay UKDB Gadget. And this one is a 16 gig of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. And it's currently priced at 26,500 pesos. And this is, by the way, a fresh na second-hand phone na nabili ko kay UKDB Gadgets, which I'll pop the link on the description box below kung saan mo siya pwede makuha or just simply click yung YouTube shopping link. Kung gusto nyo sakaling ng brand new, meron din. Kunting ingat lang, maraming scammers. Now, probably sasabihin mo sa akin, teka. Parang yung presyo niya, 26,500 is hindi nagkakalayo sa Honor 600 5G na global variant. Pero, guys, 27,000 pesos dito sa local, which is a 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. Yung Honor 600 na global variant na may 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage is priced at around 36,000 pesos, guys. Comparing to this one, 16,512 na ito. Mas mataas yung physical RAM niya. Now, pagdating sa kanyang design, hindi naman siya nagkakalayo sa Honor 500 Pro, which is na-review naman natin on our previous video. Glass din ang kanyang likod and of course, mafe-feel mo is really smooth. Pero parang may powder coating siya, magandang kapit din niya, pero smooth siya. Hindi siya basta-basta magsislip sa inyong kamay dahil medyo makapit naman siya. We have aluminum side frames and meron pa siyang pa-camera button dito, same kay Honor 500 Pro. And yung kanyang glass is being protected by the aluminum silicate glass, which is drop resistant and of course, very, very tough. As claimed by Honor, of course. Now, one thing that I'm really proud of dito sa kanya is very thin ang kanyang bezel. Siguro mas manipis ng bahagya lang si 500 Pro, pero this one by itself, it's quite thin already para sa akin at this price point. IP68, IP69 does a water resistant na rin siya, though hindi naman siya nasusupport ng eSIM, and yung kanyang 5G only works with Dito SIM. Globe and Smart? Sorry, hindi gumagana kasi luma pa rin ang cell site ng Globe and Smart. Currently, this one is running Magic OS 10 inside Android version 16. If you want the full complete spec sheet ng Honor 500 5G, share ko sa inyo. Now, one of the most important thing if you're looking sa isang phone na below 30,000 pesos is yung kanyang reliability. Now, itong phone na ito, having a 16 gigs of RAM, I think it's very perfect pagdating sa multitasking. It's really, really good. Kahit marami ka namang apps ibuksan sabay-sabay, kahit mag-edit ka pa ng 4K videos, maglaro ka pa ng heavy games dito, you shouldn't be having any trouble with it. Dahil sa laki na ng physical RAM eh. I did run yung mga AI application dito like si Claude, si Gemini, si ChatGPT. Lahat naman, wala ako naging problema sa kanya. Hindi naman sila nag-hang, nag-respond naman sa akin na mabuti. And nung 4K editing naman dito sa CapCut, it was able to handle din. Even further, lesser effort pagdating sa pag-open ng mga social media, PDF, Word document, maning-manina para sa kanya. Na mapapansin mo dito sa kanya, there's quite a few numbers of pre-installed apps na nakasama dito sa kanya. Pero pwede mo naman siya i-delete, i-highlight and then delete. And one thing na wala rin dito sa kanya is a Google Play Store. Now, pwede nung tingnan kay Gadget Sidekick Beyond Reviews on my other channel. Ginawa natin na tutorial on how to perfectly install yung Google Play Store dito sa inyong bago Honor 500 and 500 Pro na China ROM. Now, I'm not kidding pag sinasabi ko mabilis ng phone na ito dahil this one is being powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8S Gen 4. And nung sinalang ko naman to sa Antutu benchmark, near 2.3 million points ang nakuha niya. Which is for me quite powerful. Talagang performer ang 8S Gen 4. Now, probably if you're one of my subscribers na panood mo mga review natin ng 8S Gen 4, probably you have an idea kung hanggang saan ang kaya ng kanyang performance. If you want to see all of the other benchmark na ginawa natin dito sa phone na ito na. Now, one of the things siguro hinahanap mo rin sa isang smartphone is yung laki na kanyang battery. And this one is a big battery. 8,000 mAh na battery na silicon carbon, guys. 80 watts agad na fast charging and it can support 5 watts of reverse wire charging. So meaning if you're run out of battery sa iyong ibang devices, pwede mo siyang gawing power bank to charge up your other devices. Now, of course, that's during emergency lang. Now, gaano kakunat ang isang 8,000 mAh na battery? And mind you guys, hindi siya masyado nag-add ng weight dito sa phone na ito. This is just weighing at around 198 grams, which for me is quite light for a big battery like this one. Now, ginamit ko naman siya as my daily driver and I'm proud to tell you na 2 days na walang charging kayang-kaya niyang i-handle. And true enough, ginamit ko naman siya on my social media, taking some phone calls, video calls, and doing all my other stuff dito, mag-video edit, and doing some AI chat. And there are times na nagte-tether din ako using this one to my other devices. Kaya naman na 2 days, no? Which for me is quite surprising din with A8S Gen 4 inside. And nung sinalang ko naman sa PCMark na battery stress test, 22 hours and a half, ang kanyang screen on time. Pagdating naman sa ng display, this one has a 6.55-inch na AMOLED display. It has a 120Hz screen refresh rate, meron siyang PWM dimming para medyo protected na yung mata. And of course, it also has a 6,000 nits na maximum brightness. So meaning, if you're outdoor, using the phone na ito, wala kang dapat maging problema. Bright na bright pa rin display kahit under the direct sunlight. Now, like I said, ginamit ko naman to 2 weeks as my main daily driver. Happy naman sa kanya, browsing on my social media, mabilis naman mag-load ng mga shorts and reels. So you have a good, decent internet connection, wala ka dapat maging problema. And if you're trying to watch your mga favorite shows mo dito, like sa YouTube, sa Netflix, magandang display. Halos same lang naman sila ng display ng Honor 500 Pro. Malinaw, sharp ang images dito, and well, definitely you're going to enjoy dahil very thin din ang kanyang bezels. Now, the phone na ito has dual stereo speakers. And surprisingly, halos same holes ang meron niya. Pareho siya sa 500 Pro. 5 butas sa ilalim and 5 butas dito sa ibabaw. So let's just quickly check kung kasing lakas ba niya si 500 Pro or medyo mas mahina siya dahil non-Pro siya. Well, honestly, yung kanyang sounds is almost similar sa Honor 500 Pro. So yung kanyang sound is the same, hindi siya na-nerfed. Now let's quickly talk about gaming on this device. I know that this phone is more focused on sa kanyang camera, but of course with the 8S Gen 4, hindi hamak na kailangan mo talaga mag-gaming on this one. Kasi 8S Gen 4 is 8S Gen 4, kaya naman na mag-perform. So I did play 4 games dito. Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG, Genshin Impact, and Wuthering Waves. Pagdating sa Call of Duty Mobile, I was able to achieve 120 FPS. Almost consistent naman siya all throughout the game. Wala akong napansin masyado sa kanya pagdating sa frame drops or lags. And very consistent siya, guys. Magandang graphics, touch response is good. Sounds is okay. I would say na pretty decent ang kanyang sounds dito. And one thing na nagustuhan naman sa kanya is very responsive ang kanyang touch dito sa kanyang screen. And another upside dito sa kanya is quite cool din siya at 38 degrees Celsius after an hour of gameplay. Pagdating sa PUBG, umabot din tayo sa 90 FPS. And there are times na pag medyo nababarilan na kami, napapansin ko, bumababa siya ng bahagya ng mga 87 FPS. Pero it's very negligible lang naman siya. Hindi ko siya nakita nag-fall below 87 based sa mga pagsilip ko sa FPS counter, lalo na pang heavy ng battle. All throughout the game, I was really impressed naman sa kanyang performance. Smooth naman ang gameplay, wala na feel na lag. Touch response is good. Sound is okay for me. And pinakamainit na inabot natin is 38 degrees Celsius din after an hour of gameplay. Moving on to Genshin Impact, mabot tayo ng 60 FPS. And throughout the game, lalo na pag medyo nagka-clash na, napapansin ko nagda-drop siya sa 50 FPS. Pero I think may certain point na umabot ako as low as 48 pero hindi na siya bumaba beyond that. Expected naman, this is 8S Gen 4 and sinagad-sagad natin kasi yung graphical settings niya. So probably that's one of the reasons kung bakit nagda-drop siya. No? Siguro you can adjust a bit sa kanyang graphical settings to lower it down para baka mas lesser ang FPS drop natin. Overall, gameplay was good, smooth naman. Pero of course, siyempre may kunting drops lang based sa the experience ko. Lalo na pag heavy battle, heavy clash na. And uminit tayo up to 41 degrees Celsius after an hour of gameplay. Pagdating sa Wuthering Waves, 60 FPS umabot tayo. Pero on most of the time, pag nagka-clash na tayo, medyo heavy ang kanyang FPS drop pa. Umabot tayo as low as 27 FPS dito sa gameplay kasi sinagad-sagad ko ng graphical settings. Though medyo heavy ang kanyang drop, pero pag nag-adventure ka, wala ka naman feel masyado. Naglalaro siya between 50 to 55 FPS. Pero pagdating talaga sa heavy battle, doon mo talaga mafe-feel ang kanyang heavy na drops and of course mafe-feel mo rin ang lag. Pero one thing naman na napansin ko dito sa kanya, maganda kanyang sounds, kanyang touch response is also good, and medyo mainit-init siya konti at 44 degrees Celsius after an hour of gameplay. Now, right now, pag-usapan lang natin ang kanyang cameras dito. Basically, it's almost the same setup sa Honor 500 Pro except that wala siyang telephoto lens. It starts off with a 200MP na main camera sensor na may OIS. And of course, meron siyang 12MP na ultra-wide lens sa 117 degrees na field of view. 4K 60fps ang kaya na i-shoot, and ang kanyang harap is also the same sa Pro, 50MP, which can shoot you up to 4K and 30fps. Now, one of the things na napansin ko sa kanya, it's almost as good as the Pro variant. Pagdating sa outdoor shot, mga greens niya is almost the same. Hindi siya nagkakalayo sa Pro. And one thing na napansin ko rin sa kanya is very clear, very detailed ang mga water droplets pag kumuha ako dito sa shot na ito. Same din kay Pro. Pero there are times na pansin ko, dito siya medyo nag-iba konti kay Pro variant kasi medyo mas darker green ang capture niya dito. And kay Pro is a little bit lighter. Pero overall, kahit mga flowers na ito, magandang pagka-capture. Very natural kanyang color. Almost color accurate naman based sa aking mata. On some of this shot, kahit medyo gloomy, okay naman. Itong capture natin sa statue na ito is looking good. The greens are also looking good. Now, kung pumasok ka naman on indoor, taking some product shot, maganda rin siya. Sharp, just like the Pro variant. You'll be able to get some nice shots. Except that there are times na it tends to be a little bit overexposed. Pero hindi naman lagi, no? Depende sa some of the shots na nakuha natin. Pero most of the shots naman dito sa kanya, like the mga flower shots na ito, it's quite excellent. And wala akong masasabi, talagang, well, cool na cool itong mga photos na na-capture natin. And kahit itong mga food photography na capture natin, it's almost as good as the Pro variant. And I would say na pretty nice and pretty good itong mga food shots na na-capture natin. Kahit itong simple coffee shot na na-capture natin sa cappuccino. Shoutout kay Boss Justin for this coffee. And some of their foods are really good as well. Now, tinry ko rin naman kanya ultra-wide camera. This is how it looks like. And I can zoom all the way up to 30 times zoom. And, well, quite good pa rin. Kahit digitally zoom on indoors. And checking some shots on the outdoor gabi, okay. Still can perform. Itong mga signages na na-capture natin, okay naman. Wala akong naging problema. And other night photography shots na na-capture natin are looking nice and decent as well. Pagdating sa kanyang selfie shot on outdoor, looking good and almost hindi naman nagkakalayo sa mga shots na na-capture ko sa 500 Pro. And looking nice and decent on most of the photos na na-capture natin on outdoors. And when it it comes to indoors photography, I would say not bad din. Except that it's a little bit softer, pero overall, maganda pa rin ang mga na-capture ko dito sa kanya. Pag medyo magandang lighting, you'll be able to get some nice snaps naman sa kanya. And it's also perfect for group photos like this and this. Diba? Okay. And here's a quick video sample from the front-facing camera. And here's a quick sample video from the rear camera. Guys, ano masasabi ko dito sa Honor 500 5G? Now, honestly, at that price point, running at around 26,000 pesos, meron ka na 16 gigs of RAM or 512 gigs of storage. For me, maganda siya. No? But you can add a little bit more, roughly add ka ng 3,000 pesos to 29,500 pesos to get a Honor 500 Pro na 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage din kay UKDB Gadgets. Para naman silang second hand and very much fresh ang unit na na-capture natin, nakuha natin sa kanya. And I would say na sulit naman siya para sa akin. Dahil nagtataas ang mga presyo, so I'm personally trying to find some alternatives na pwede ko i-recommend sa inyo para makamura kayo despite the prices are going up. And walang tigil yan, mukhang hanggang December, tataas pa daw sila based sa some credible sources na natanungan natin. Now, would I recommend itong Honor 500 5G na second hand? Definitely, it's a yes. For me, ang ganda ng performance nito, I would say, pretty solid ang kanyang camera, except that kulang lang ng telephoto lens. You can get the Pro 1 kung gusto mo naman yung telephoto lens na kasama na up to 3 times optical zoom. And if you want to know kung saan pwede mabili ito, I've got it from UKDB Gadgets. I'll post the link on the description box below or just simply click yung YouTube shopping link natin dyan para makamenos kayo, baka maka-voucher pa kayo galing sa akin. Now, of course, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe dito sa akin channel so you don't miss out yung mga reviews na hindi ginagawa ng ibang tech vloggers like this one, si Honor 500 and si 500 Pro. So paano guys, hanggang dito muna ako. I'll see you when you see me. Peace out. And so, ako para si Richmond and you're watching Gadget Sidekick. What's up? Like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. For one of my latest uploads, click the dito. And for one of my popular uploads, click here.